Okay.
I saw a lot of talk. I mean, it did well. I saw a lot of talk. Oh, Jake Paul has to fight Anderson. This is the fight. You know what? I disagree. Why does this have to be the fight?
Let's get world-renowned Love Island cast member.
Yeah, that's right.
Tommy Fury.
No, here's the thing. I'm down if it's the fight, but why does it have to be the fight? Why is it? Why is this 47-year-old against the 24-year-old?
I'll come with you on that. I'll come with you on that. But is there any doubt that people would rather see that fight? Last time we talked about this, you said no. People would not rather see that fight. They would rather see Tommy Fury. I mean, come on.
So randomly, when I was back in Atlanta, I was introduced to like these 2 or 3 girls, and they asked me what I did, and somehow fighting came up, and they were like, "Oh man, the only fighter I know is Tommy Fury."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Jake Paul.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, he might fight Jake Paul." They were like, "Oh, I would love that. I would love to see that." And I just started cracking up.
There you go.
Yeah, there's another pro boxer from Love Island. What was his name? He was on The Challenge. That's the only reason I know this. And again, I mean, to my point, don't even know what his name is.
Okay,
more fights than Tommy Fury. Nobody who watches Love Island is buying the pay-per-view based on that.
Let me just be very clear before anyone minces my words. If Anderson fights Jake, I'm obviously all in. This is like our wheelhouse. It would be crazy. I called Anderson Silva the comeback fighter of the year last year. Like, his story's been amazing. That being said, he was fighting on some bizarre stream in Dubai. I mean, like, to suggest that he is a bigger name right now worldwide in mainstream than the guy on the Fight Island show that was, that is Tyson Fury's half brother, feels like a bit of a stretch.
Who sells more pay-per-views?
Who sells more pay-per-views? I actually don't know. I really don't know.
My answer wasn't he's more known by people who watch Netflix or whatever channel that's on than Anderson Silva. I will grant you that.
Do you think both fights happen, let's say, August 13th, right? That's the date.
Yeah.
In Houston. Let's just pick a random city on Showtime, let's say. And by the way, not really talked about thing is the fact that Jake Paul is a free agent right now, TV-wise.
Yeah.
He had a 2-fight deal with Showtime. I mean, that doesn't really affect the viewer at home, but I'm kind of interested to see where that story goes. Anyway, let's say it's Showtime, pay-per-view, Anderson versus Jake in some, random U.S. city, or Jake versus Tommy in some random U.S. city. You think
which
that
sells more pay-per-views? Anderson Silva, not even a question.
By a wide margin?
Huge margin.
Huge margin?
Tommy Fury brings nothing to this fight.
Okay.
Zero. Nothing.
Anderson versus Jake in some random American town, or Jake versus Tommy in the UK?
Okay, well, now we're talking. Are we talking like gate now? Like if you're doing,
what
like
does better
the
business?
Package,
what does better business?
Yeah, that could potentially bridge the gap, especially because now you can sell more pay-per-views in the UK too, right? Like you can move the if they do like the what is it BT box office, right?
Yeah.
Now there's a different equation. I would argue Anderson probably does still more because the fans that are fight fans in the UK know Anderson Silva as well. I'm not convinced that Tommy would sell much more than Anderson in the UK, but in the US it wouldn't even be close. Anderson would crush him under the weight of his pay-per-views.
What do you think, GC?
I think whoever Jake Paul fights, I'm going to watch it regardless. Opponent doesn't really matter.
Our buddy Jedi Goodman, who's also a challenge fan, Idris Virgo was the guy I was referring to. Have you ever heard of this man?
No.
He's like a 12-0 boxer who was on Love Island. He's not doing anything.
Tommy Fury is more than Idris.
That's my point, though, right? Like, it's all the other things. It's being Tyson Fury's brother.
Yes.
It's Jake Paul mentioning his name.
Right.
Nobody who watches Love Island is buying a pay-per-view.
Did you watch the Anderson fight?
Yeah.
So what do you think?
What about it? What do you mean?
I mean, like, what do you, like, do you really think based on the place that he's at in his career, the way he sells fights, his personality, that could, I just think there'll be more heat. There's no heat right now between Jake and Anderson. Again,
there's no heat between Jake and Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is not bringing heat.
By the way, I'd rather see the Anderson fight because like it's more of an emotional. But the idea that it has to be Anderson because it's such a no-brainer.
I'm not in on that. I don't think that is. But what I'm telling you, it may very well be likely that his next fight is Tommy Fury. It will do fine. Jake Paul's next fight is Tommy Fury. It will do fine. I'm sure the tea leaves are pointing in that direction. My point is, Tommy Fury is not bringing anything to that equation. Just not. Like
Which win does he get more credit for? Beating the 47-year-old former MMA great, or beating
Anderson, for sure.
Because it's the first thing someone's going to say if he beats him.
I think that's all they're going to say.
Well, they'll find a
fight someone your own age.
If somebody is inclined to not give Jake Paul credit for his fights, they will always find a reason.
I agree with that.
There will always be a reason. Anderson too old. Tommy Fury not a great boxer. There's always going to be a reason. That is an irrelevant conversation. Of course, if he fights Conor, the guy hasn't won a fight in X number of years. There will always be a reason. What I'm telling you is that Anderson Silva has more fight cachet, and nobody who watches Love Island is buying a pay-per-view. And I'm very, very confident in saying that. There are no Love Island fans who are buying pay-per-views. Otherwise, Idris Virgo would be the number one pay-per-view draw right now.
No, because Idris Virgo is nowhere near as big as
that's my point.
Tommy Fury.
That's a good point.
It's all based on the Love Island. There is no cachet. There is no pull from Love Island. It's because he's Tommy Fury's brother. It's because he's Tyson Fury's brother. It's because Jake Paul's mentioned his name.
Right.
There's a little bit of heat there.
I'm agreeing with you.
But there's heat there. There's at least some
Is there?
heat.
Yeah, like there's more than this Idris Virgo guy. There's way more than
this
this
dude.
Idris
I've never even heard of this guy.
Again, you guys are not understanding
But listen,
the argument.
if they did the fight in the UK, heat-wise, promotion-wise, you got John Fury now involved.
Do they even care about Tommy that much? Like, how much do they really get involved?
Yo,
in
he was sitting at the press conference. What are you talking about? You remember that whole thing? He's talking about his girlfriend.
That was a debacle of a press conference.
It was a
Let's
debacle.
just say I get the sense that Tommy's not the most loved child in that.
Nah,
But then
that's
Jake
not fair.
could go over there and be face to face with John too. Which
Yes.
would be great theater.
It would be. It would be incredible.
You're making the point that there's an interesting element to Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul. Not the argument. Has nothing to do with Love Island.
What are we
Zero.
arguing about right now? What the bigger gate is? Who does more pay-per-views?
What is the argument?
I've stated it very plainly. You guys are all on this train that like Tommy Fury has this like mainstream appeal from Love
He's got
Island.
the package.
He's got nothing. There is nothing there.
No, actually, I feel like the Love Island part is number 3 or 4 on the list.
Okay,
of
there. Well, now that's
Tyson,
I can start to agree with
John.
Yeah,
UK.
you're crazy if you think Love Island is the number one thing here for the draw.
it's zero.
of the fight.
It's nothing.
Did you see his performance in his last fight? He smoked the guy. He's a fantastic
Wait,
fighter.
what?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Jesus, the levels of delusion.
Anderson.
right?
Let's just get the opponent so I can get excited for it. 'Cause
Well,
I'm gonna
that's the
watch it
thing.
regardless.
You know what's the crazy thing about it? The crazy thing is there's no clear-cut guy. It's like we're all trying to
Yeah,
convince
so you're talking
ourselves.
about all this heat with Tommy Fury. It's like, what heat?
No.
This
I'm
is
talking-
all carried by Jake Paul.
Listen,
all of it.
if I were in charge of his career, I would keep the MMA thing going. And it's unfortunate that there's no clear-cut MMA guy. Other than Anderson, who's 47, there's not a single other person out there.
Another thing, I think you... Go ahead, GC.
I just feel like the pre-fight things with Tommy would be way more interesting, but the fight itself with Anderson
That's
would
fair.
be more interesting.
I think you
I
guys
think that's
are...
a fair point.
are
Can't really
giving
do a
Tom-
face-to-face with Anderson.
Why not?
I just feel like Anderson's not going to.
He won't engage. He won't engage.
Whole shtick.
He'll say he'll want to fight his clone instead and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. Make the money. Jake Paul will carry it, as he always has.
Right.
Jake Paul will carry it, as he always has. This has nothing to do... The opponent's almost irrelevant, being completely honest. Like, how much heat was there with Tyron Woodley the second
There
time?
was a lot. Well, that was,
Oh, stop.
No. The first time there was a ton of heat. Come on,
the
don't
first
do
time was
revisionist
good.
history.
The second
No, but the
I
second
didn't
time was...
revise history. I literally said the second
You said
time.
second at the end. Second time, though, was a wash. Like, that wasn't the plan. No one wanted to see that rematch.
Agreed.
So, I mean, I almost
And Jake
exclude
Paul
that
still
one.
carried it. Jake Paul will carry it against anybody. Anderson Silva is a more credible fighter than Tommy Fury. Worldwide audience. It just is a fact.
Well, now I feel like we're changing the goalposts. Of course he's a more credible fighter. I'm just trying to find the fight that makes the most sense.
But you also, I think you have, and you've put this forward before, like, you think that, like, Tommy Fury is going to end the conversation about, like, he hasn't fought a real boxer.
He's not
It
gonna
will not.
end it.
It will 0% end
It's
that
a nice
conversation.
little...
It's not. It's not. He will be, first of all, I don't think he's very good right now. Wait until Jake Paul beats him. The conversation about how good a boxer he is, he's going to be, they're going to call him the worst boxer of all time. There will be no credit given to Jake Paul if he beats Tommy Fury. There'll be no credit given to Jake Paul if he beats Anderson Silva. There'll be no credit given to Jake Paul if he beats Mayweather. Logan Paul, like, had a competitive fight with Mayweather, and it's like, it was rigged, this and that. They will not get credit, period. That will never happen.
I just wish someone would have emerged. Even someone in Bellator. You know?
Well, I'll say this. The one who's made the best case for it, the one who's talking the loudest and making the most noise, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. I like what he's trying to do here. I like him talking about it. He doesn't...
I haven't even seen anything.
He continues to just kind of talk about them.
Anthony Taylor has turned on Jake?
He wants to fight.
What?
Yeah.
Where have I been?
But again, he doesn't have enough name. Like, he's not gonna.
Wait, they're not buds anymore? I thought the whole thing was he was his training partner.
Unless I've misremembered
Anyway, that's not going to
this.
happen. That is not.
Of course
There's
not.
no way
Of
that's
course
going to happen.
Nobody's. Yeah, I mean,
Chris
is Dylan
Avila
Dennis gonna come back all of a sudden?
No, I mean, we haven't heard from him.
I mean,
since,
that's where
January.
Jake might get credit. That one fight, if he beats Dylan Dennis, because people will
Come on.
The
want
GOAT?
to see
Then he'll
that
be
happen.
The GOAT.
God, honestly, I mean, I don't know why you just brought him up, but I mean, talk about fumbling it. There's literally no one. Like, he could emerge right now if he was active.
If he just came and made some noise, you're right.
MVP would be fun. Bellator guy.
Yeah.
Wait,
that would
what?
be random
Yeah.
as hell.
No, MVP has kind of hinted at it in the past, but he's not making any noise for it.
What?
He's not banging the drum. Don't you think MVP versus Jake would be an interesting boxing match?
I would be more excited for Silva or Tommy, though.
Sort of the same age. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out something.
These are very. I mean,
There's
I
nothing.
feel like he probably has something figured out. We're
There's
less than 3 months away.
there's nothing there. Jake Paul's gonna carry it. It's irrelevant at this point who he's gonna fight. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Let me ask you guys, what are you more interested in? Holly Holm resuming her MMA career or trying to get the Katie Taylor fight?
For sure, Katie Taylor.
Yes. Katie Taylor.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
Yeah, because like where does Holly go from here? Like you mentioned it earlier,
Yeah.
she's turning 41 soon. She's now fights removed from fighting for a title again.
Yeah, I mean, just what does Holly Holm have left to accomplish in MMA at this point? Is there anything that we care about?
No.
Like, she's done everything. There's nothing left.
Katie Taylor is staring at 2 upcoming fights, a rematch against Amanda Serrano and then a potential Holly Holm fight. Like, that is gigantic stuff.
Yeah.
It's way
Big
more
paydays,
interesting.
too.
Man, imagine back in Ireland. That would be incredible. I'd love to see that. I don't know if it's going to happen. She has 1 fight left. I mean, again, I don't know how she gets to a title shot. Is the UFC going to re-sign her? She costs a lot of money. Can I just say, speaking of 135, Rick, you would know because you follow this stuff very, very closely. I mean, that feels, at least to me, like the most definitive answer from Valentina about 135, right?
100%. Yeah.
Like in the past, she's always kind of been like, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Like she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to win this one, and then we're going up.
Yeah. No, that is by far the most definitive she's been. She's always, as to your point, she's always been wishy-washy about it. It's always been, maybe down the line I'll get that one, again. You asked her point blank, is it next? And she said, very, very, very possibly. So, like, yeah.
Love the idea of that. Sitting on a Shevchenko bantamweight champion by the end of the year, plus 800.
Oh my God. Are you really? Where are we at with those?
I was sitting back here hyped up.
We're approaching the halfway point. By the way, Frank, when Valentina says that, we could get the breaking news. I mean, it was pretty big.
I think
It's a little late. Like 2 hours later.
I think I'm currently cashing 0 of them.
Why? You have Kaikar France.
Yo, yeah. That's what I'm
Currently.
saying.
Currently, it's currently,
if
but
the
like
year ended
I feel like
today,
you're
it'd be 0.
trending in the right direction for a
Kai's
few.
got a chance. Joanna has a chance. I have Jiri at like plus 200.
If Kai wins interim, does that count?
No.
It doesn't.
Serious?
He has to be
I
undisputed.
wonder if it'd be a push.
Huh.
Like if he had an interim belt.
Wait, is that legit?
Yeah, I don't think it would count.
Wow.
Being interim.
That sucks. Because he might be a champion.
Are there any that you're completely out of the game for? Like that this guy is nowhere near the title?
I would have to go back and look. I don't think.
Well, I feel like we can have a mid-season report here. We're approaching the mid-season mark.
Yeah, here. Let me. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, while he does that, let me just say that
Yeah,
I'm not that interested in Valentina versus 135ers anymore.
Oh, I would love to.
Wait,
try and see
35ers or
double check.
25ers?
35ers.
Oh,
What?
wow. I
What
would
are you
love to
talking-
see that.
I don't think that's the right weight class for her. I'm not interested in it.
Shevchenko Nunez 3, you wouldn't want
Look,
to see?
I'll watch
Yeah.
it. It's fine. But the only reason that we're even talking about it is because of the lack of competition at 125. It's not because Valentina is somebody we've been dying to see go back up again. I don't care.
Shevchenko Nunez, everyone wants to see
fine.
that fight.
Really?
Yeah, we've been talking about it for like 2 years.
Yeah, but again, it's only because of the lack of competition at 125. It's not because we're dying to see Valentina go up. I don't need to see her at 35 again. Now, if you're
Shevchenko
giving me that
too?
option, versus somebody at 125 who she's going to smoke again, like, yeah, I mean, I'll go with you on it, but I'm not compelled by that. I'm really not. I don't think she's a 135er. I think she's in the weight class she belongs in. I don't think she'd be that tough a
She
fight.
beat Pena rather convincingly. She could get that second title.
Yeah, I mean it's different. It's different going up to 35.
I want to see it. I selfishly want to see it.
I'm okay with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, ugh, like, I wouldn't watch it. I am. Of course I'll watch it and it's fine. But again, it's only coming from a
So you'd
place
rather
of
see her
125
versus
being,
another like
being nothing.
faceless flyweight? I mean, in fairness, flyweight is slowly but surely getting a little more interesting. Let's see what Misha does. All right. Manon Fiorot. All right. Alexa Grasso. All right. But I mean, her just...
Yeah, let me be clear. I am not saying I would rather see a 125er who doesn't belong in there with her as opposed to the Nunes fight. But what I'm saying is I'm not interested in Valentina at 135. So after the Nunes fight or after the Pena fight, then what? Like I'm not interested in her being the 35-pound champion because I don't think that's her weight class.
You'd rather see...
You're talking about one fight, but then what are the consequences of that? I would rather see her just keep at 25.
What about her?
But what about the rest of the division?
Yeah, but honestly, in this case with flyweight, maybe her going up allows that division to evolve, populate.
Momentum.
You'd rather see Shevchenko Chukagian too?
I just literally told you that I would not rather see it. I literally just told you this.
Shevchenko.
The words came out of my mouth.
Shevchenko 3.
This is of all the crazy takes, this is up there.
I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick.
I said earlier how much he hates
I'm
this
so
bit.
sick of this is the worst take when you disagree with something I say. It's so lazy.
Wait,
It's
to
so
you?
lazy.
To you?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's just
did.
so
I did.
lazy.
It's
This is the worst take. This is the worst take since this. And then these like little bottom feeder internet regurgitators just like latch onto it and say the same thing. It's so
The fork
lazy.
and knife hot
It's
dog
so
guy.
it lacks such critical thinking. It's so boring. It's so boring.
All right, I got the midway season report.
Did you
here.
have a hot dog last week at Costco?
Costco? Yes, you did.
No,
Damn,
no.
you
See,
just broke
now
down
you're
the
using
wall.
info that I dropped in the chat.
No. The question was Costco.
No,
No,
it was
it
a
was the
Nathan's
mall.
hot dog. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
told
right,
you in
yes.
the chat that I went to Costco
Yes.
and had a hot dog, but it was with my daughter, and it was definitely not eaten with a fork.
But he was sitting there nervous as hell last
First-
week.
But once the story started with like I saw New York eating a hot dog, I
You're like,
I was like,
oh,
wait a minute.
snap.
Wait a minute, where is this going? And then no, they had the facts all wrong, and they just
You blew
completely
it.
fabricated that story. Weird, just a weird
The facts all wrong. I think it was just completely made up.
Yeah, just completely made up. Sorry, GC.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
mid-season report. We got Jiri plus 275, so that's alive. Kai Kara France plus 1600 alive. Islam plus 240 alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hamza welterweight. I don't know if he's gonna get the shot before year's
Uh,
end.
I mean, he
That's
gets
not
one
bad.
more. He gets one more.
Valentina plus 800 bantamweight. Joanna plus 3500 strawweight. Marina Rodriguez plus 700 strawweight.
That might be the one. Yeah, but you hedged that one. No, I mean,
right,
that might be
well, I
the
got
one
the-
that has no chance.
No, you want to know? No chance. I did take Ciro Gane and John Jones. Some sprinkles on heavyweight there.
Rob, you know what?
I'm not ready to rule that one out either.
These are all at big odds though. So if I can just get like 2 or 3 of these,
Yeah.
we're
Right.
gonna be looking pretty.
Rodriguez, like if they're in need of a fight, somebody falls off, like she's game. Like I could see a scenario where she slides into a fight just because she's always ready. And
The problem is, if Rose would have won, she would have had it. Now that Rose lost, Joanna's in the mix, Zhang is in the mix.
for sure,
There's so many
it's
other people
difficult.
in the mix.
But let's say they book the strawweight title fight, somebody falls off last minute. First name on that list, Marina Rodriguez. First name to call to like fill in.
Right.
Joanna wins next month. I think it's going to be Marina or Joanna next, and we might get a shot before the year's over.
Yeah, I don't hate it. She is really game, and that's what.
If Joanna wins next month, I think it's going to be Joanna
yeah,
Carla.
for sure.
Which is better. That's better.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Yeah, it's
I'm
way
sitting
better
on
for you.
Joanna at plus 3,500. Islam, hoping that gets booked.
I mean, you're probably going to get that by the end of the year for sure.
Plus
Looking
240.
good.
I would love that.
The
That
only
was my biggest-
curveball is
biggest bet, too.
if they make him fight Beneil, but it doesn't look like
Yeah.
that's going to be the case. They
It'd
threw
be
that out
exciting.
there, and now they took it back.
Hopefully we can cash 1 or 2 of these.
I feel like you're in a
Usually we
good
say-
spot for like at least 3 or 4 right now. Like really good spot.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Let's hope.
Look at you.
I mean, it's just better business. Why would they make him fight Beneil? That never made sense. That never made sense.
They didn't like the whole,
It just didn't make sense. It's bad.
No, I
business.
know. I'm
Here's
fine
your
with it.
punishment. Like we're gonna do a fight that we don't really want to do. Come on.
I will say though, Charles should fight in Brazil. If they really are going to Brazil in December, he should fight in Brazil.
Agree with that.
And Khabib,
Yes.
to his credit, said, "We'll go to Brazil, no problem."
They
Which
just
would
want
be
the
sick.
shot.
Of
Which
course.
would be
I'm just saying, like, but it means you have to wait a little longer, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he cares.
That fight would be massive.
True or false?
Brazil.
Oh, in Brazil, it'd be
Brazil.
tremendous.
I mean,
And by the way,
it's
Khabib
so
is doing a great job of promoting it, too,
Yes.
by all the stuff that he's talking.
He's
Khabib-
promoting tough. He's promoting
That's
Charles
right.
versus Islam in Brazil. I
Promoting
mean,
the
he's the
MMA
number
hour.
one promoter in the USA.
I know.
right
He's
now.
watching our show. He's taking all our stories.
I don't know about that one.
Why? Why? He responded to a thing on the show.
Yeah.
You're going to try to take credit for him looking at the.
I mean, it was the social media.
I mean, that's.
It was
that's-
our great graphic by
the
Jose
way,
Youngs.
That's the
let's
bit.
Call it what it
The
is.
bit is me completely ignoring the obvious and saying that
No, I
he's
know.
watching the show.
I didn't get that one at first.
I would say that he, he's a great promoter of events, but never seen him.
Never met him.
Never met him. True or false? Glover Teixeira, does he fight in 2023?
I'll let GC go on that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a little. I didn't know where you were going with that one.
Well, because he
I
said
don't
to
know, I guess.
Guilherme, I read the thing. I saw the whole
Right,
thing.
yeah.
He said, dream is this, that, New
When's
York.
this? One more.
Yeah.
Close it out.
And now he's like, yeah, you guys asked me early. Now I feel great.
I'm
By
going to
the-
say true. I'm going to say he fights in 2023.
I think so too.
He's the man, by the way. The wine response was 10 out of 10.
The Hennessy. No, but if he wins on June 11th and then he wins again, let's say he gets the New York thing, which I don't know if they put him in New York, but yeah, he
Yeah.
deserves it.
I mean,
Why the
you could
hell-
just do him in December in Brazil if that's
Yeah,
Out of
like
the-
if they're doing
Charles,
Brazil,
I
you,
mean, oof.
Yeah. But
you
come
would
on.
have to take that over New York, right?
I mean, his whole life is here now.
Yeah, that's true.
He's never fought in New York
Northeast
before.
guy.
He's had a
Yeah.
chance to fight in
And it
Brazil.
seemed very. I think what he was telling Guilherme and what he said to you again, that's a fairy tale, right?
yeah.
If that happens, it'd be
Yeah.
hard for him to go, man, do I really want to do this, go into camp again, do this thing? Like, I could leave on a storybook right now. I just don't think he's ready to say that definitively. But if it happens, yeah, I could see it. I'll say, yeah, but here's the thing. I have Jiri winning that
I
fight.
know,
So
that's
it'd be,
the problem.
Yeah, me
it
too.
throws a whole
Can I say what I think happens?
Yeah.
I think that if he beats Yuri and then he goes to end of the year and wins that, he's not walking away. He fought way too hard, way too long to get to this point. You ain't leaving. You could say it's not about the money all you want. You're just not going to walk away. I have a hard time believing it. That being said, I could see a scenario. Let's say Yuri unfortunately knocks him out or something where he says, all right, I'm good. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
again, like the Holly Holm thing. What's left? Like, Glover has
Or
done
maybe
it
he
all.
asks for a retirement fight in New York
Yeah.
and he says the next one.
I could see that.
Basically, if he loses the belt on June 11th, I could see him not fighting past 23. If he wins on June 11th and remains
20
champ,
Just for clarity, you're saying 2023, obviously.
yeah, like he fights, past 2022 into 2023.
Yeah.
If he wins and keeps it, I don't see him walking away as champion.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. It also obviously depends how it goes, right? It's a close fight. All of a sudden, they just do a rematch on it. There's all kinds of scenarios where this plays out and everything gets affected. I think rightfully, I think we're putting a clock on it because we know how long he's been fighting and because of his age. But he doesn't have a clock on it. He's just going to figure this out as it goes, and I think he has the right to do that.
Or instead of New York, retirement fight where he lives right now, Connecticut. They do it at the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. That's where they close it out.
Fight night, Hartford.
Well, they can go to the
XL
Mohegan
Center.
Sun or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mohegan.
They don't go to Mohegan. They go to the other one. What's the other? Foxwoods.
Foxwoods,
They've been to
yeah.
Foxwoods. I've been there once. It was not bad.
Yeah.
The wonder of it all.
Wow, look at
You know that commercial?
Little jingle.
Take a chance, make it happen. Pop a cork, finger snapping. You know that?
Oh, you really
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
They do have a
Have it
ball.
all.
Yes, it's always
Let's
on
do
like
it.
Knicks games and stuff.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, let's.
Have you ever been?
Yes, I went to the great card there. The Jacare one. Overeem fought on it. Travis
Oh,
Brown.
wow. They did a card with those guys at Foxwoods?
Yo,
Wow.
you forgetting? Not only did they do a card at Foxwoods, Bellator did a card at Mohegan same night.
Wow. Big
Connecticut
night
was like-
That was for
on
real?
fire.
Yes.
I'm
Connecticut was on
completely
fire.
blocking this out of my head. That is crazy to me.
It was the same night.
They did a Mohegan versus Foxwoods.
Head
so
to head.
So UFC loaded it up because of that, right?
On a
they're
Friday to boot. It was something where I think that, here it is, right here. It was something where I think Bellator had something big, some sort of like return, debut.
Yeah. And UFC was like, nah.
Yeah, UFC Fight Night 50 on September 5th, same day as nearby Bellator 123.
On the
head-to-head interstate battle.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yo, they did load it up. Listen to this fight night main card. Mousasi against Jacare,
Yeah.
Rothwell Overeem, Mitrione Derek Lewis, Joe Lozon Michael Chiesa. That was the main card.
Oh, man.
Moraga was on the undercard, Ally Aquinta on the undercard, your boy Chris Camozzi on the undercard.
Okay. All right.
By the way, what about Matt Mitrione knocking out Derek Lewis that night in 41 seconds?
Yeah.
How about that?
Say no more. UFC was like, nah, we're not losing. We're not losing the casino wars here.
Now, I will admit, I forget who fought on the Bellator one. I think Michael Chandler might have fought on the Bellator.
Yeah, let's find out. GC.
What do you got?
He had it.
Bellator 123.
I can't do the numbers for Bellator.
Yeah, I found it. What? You're not.
No, I don't do
as quick on the draw.
No, I don't do it.
All right, here we go. Patricio Pitbull and Daniel Strauss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the full card. Yeah, MMA fighting not loading.
All right, here we go.
Great website though.
King Mo against Dustin Jacoby, Tamdan McCrory against Brendan Ward, Bobby Lashley against Josh Burns, Czech Congo against LeVar Big Johnson.
Okay, so they were trying to load it up too.
Yeah.
Enough. Fair play to him. Yeah, that's interesting.
It was Pat Kern against Patricia Pitbull. That's right. It aired live on Spike TV on a Friday.
Oh, Dustin Jacoby.
The event marked the first time Bellator and their rival UFC have had live shows go against each other. Additionally, both were held in the same state in venues located within miles of each other.
I can't believe I
You don't remember this?
Memory of this.
2014.
This out. Have they ever gone head to head since?
Yeah, of course. You mean in the same state?
No, like same night.
UFC and Bellator? Where the hell have you been?
Am I? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What are you talking
They go
about?
Saturdays all the time now. Yeah.
Now, the same state is a good question.
But and correct me if I'm wrong here. Isn't it usually staggered though? It'll usually be like a Bellator is on like after UFC. Or like, it's not usually like head to head.
Well, in the ESPN era, Bellator often will have 10 p.m. main cards for their shows, and UFC is like on a fight night. They'll never go up against a pay-per-view, but UFC will have like a 7 p.m. one, so it usually ends. Like
this is like as head to head as it gets.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
Steve Garcia on that Bellator card. He's going to be on UFC 275.
Wow.
I didn't even know Connecticut was a state in 2014.
Wow.
Jesus. Shots fired.
Uncasville, Connecticut. And the other one was, what was it? It was called...
Uncasville.
Yeah.
I'll be there soon.
Massantucket. Massantucket is where Foxwoods is.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Speaking of cards, UFC 277 officially announced Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes is official. As we already told you, that's the main event. The co-main is Brandon Moreno versus Kai France interim flyweight title fight. Derek Lewis against Sergey Pavlovich. Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. And I do want to send my condolences to Anthony, who lost his mother recently. Not a bad main card for July 30th. 2 pay-per-views in 1 month is tough, I think. If
That's a great card.
Yeah, it's great, but
Magomed Anthony Smith opening the main card too. I'm pretty excited for that one.
Oh, the 5-pack is tremendous. Rockhold Costa, I hope happens. Jeez,
Oh man,
the heat between them is tremendous. I love
Costa giving you some love on Twitter.
Helwani. What a character! But no, Rockhold said like, you better show up, BITCH or something. Here's the thing though, $75. It's $75 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Within the span of 4 weeks, 28 days.
Yeah, $150.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
The second one always suffers. And then if they do Diaz Khamzat on August 20th or something like that, it's going to suffer.
Well, that's the thing. Do you skip another one down the line and just get that one in July?
Skip the sandwich.
Get the 2 in July. You know?
Well, the next one will be August 20th, and that one is
okay.
TBD.
But maybe you skip September. Maybe you skip. You know what I mean? Like you know. That one's pretty good. I think that one...
Really annoying how I said the UFC wanted Usman Edwards on that, and everyone ran with saying, I reported it, running to this guy, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
City.
I mean, like, get out of here with this. It's crazy, these people. Same night as SummerSlam as well, July 30th. I don't know if that is going to factor into things. Different audiences, right?
They don't. They seem to be going head to head more and more, right?
Yes.
They don't,
Money in the Bank, same night as 276.
Is that affecting any? I don't really know.
Same night, same city. It's going to be like shades of Bellator UFC 2014. I will be at Money in the Bank in the same city and not at the UFC event. How about that?
You're not going to get to watch 276?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Are you allowed? I don't think you're allowed.
I have to go in under a disguise.
Different name.
Yeah,
whatever
the fake name
Paulo Costa said. Helwani, you can go in.
Yeah. Am I going to watch 276? You said no, because the thing is, the lifting is very light for the WWE event. I could watch it, and by the time it will end at 10:30.
Okay, yeah.
There's still going to be 2.5 hours.
6 card is.
Yeah, it's nice. But I will be there at Allegiant and not at the UFC event. How weird is that?
Yeah.
Weird times. So 277 officially announced. And one last thing I wanted to bring up before we go to the social media expert. How do we feel about the whole Michelle Pejeda, Masvidal? I mean, like...
Yeah, it feels like a not... Look, it's good internet drama. I think Michelle is getting what he wanted out of that, right? Like, he wanted Masvidal's attention. He got Masvidal's attention. He left some details out of the story.
Did it backfire, though?
No, because I think ultimately, like, if my wife or my significant other sent that message, like, I'd be like, I don't care. Like,
what was the message again? Like, good luck or something?
We have the receipt right here.
Oh, we have it. Thank you. Let's go to the...
this.
what do we got? What do we got? Let's go to the screen here.
No, I don't think it backfired, is my answer.
Yeah, we got the picture right here if we can go to it. Masvidal coming in, chirping him.
Okay, so what is she? Okay, I can't read that. What does she say?
So she says, "Kill it, you got this." Responding to one of his stories, he sends back the prayer emoji.
Now, important to note, at the press conference, Pejeda just said, "Yo, he slid in the DMs," and said he didn't mention the first message, right?
He did not mention the first message. She also had mentioned him.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you for bringing that up. Please, can you just go back to that real quick? You know, I'm happy you mentioned that. There's a one, it expires after 24 hours, right? But you can see it right there, the receipt. When is that? Like
July
a year
11th,
ago?
2020. And then she responds to one of his stories on March 17, 2021. And then he hits her with the prayer emoji.
Now she comes back. Okay, well, he wrote, "How crazy a world and how far has society fallen that this idiot, Michelle Pejeda, who beat our H-Dow," I mean, we're not taking sides here, but, you know, it's just, would use his wife to hopefully one day get a paycheck and create a fake narrative to try and get a fight with me when clearly he sees she slid in my DM. Wishing you guys the best. Marriage counselor, hashtag. Now, what's interesting about this is, how did Pejeda know that he wrote that even? Like, did she write to him, and then all of a sudden he writes back the prayer emoji, and then she's like, "Could you believe this? Jorge Masvidal wrote me back." And
all right, let's not. Hey, we're speculating here in a way that I mean, needs to be done. Let me shut that down for a second.
What? This is he brought it out.
Yes, but it's possible that like she was just like, "Oh, Jorge Masvidal responded to me." Like, it doesn't have to be.
Or he took her phone and started going through it.
Or he took her. There's a lot of different things.
I'm sorry, but
those were the most benign messages of all time.
She came back with a pretty serious message just over a prayer emoji sent.
A real statement.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I need to step in here for
Wait, MMA Fighting posted it. I mean, I'm seeing this all through your feed.
Connor just said she came back with a very serious statement for just an emoji. That's not what the statement is in reaction to. The statement is in reaction to all the people online who are talking. First of all, the term slide into DMs is being used very like liberally right now.
Sure.
He didn't slide into her DMs. She didn't slide into his DMs with the implications that people are talking about. These were very benign messages.
Do we happen to have her statement, just for the record? I feel like it's only fair.
I can read it. I can't put it up on the screen, unfortunately.
Okay, go ahead. I want to have this whole story.
Yeah, I should have had this one right. Society is always looking for excitement, and unfortunately, drama sells, twisting the narrative to create a story that is false. I have never and would never do anything to disrespect my marriage or my husband. This account, as you can see, is a business account, and way more than one person has access to it. This is not even the way I would speak. Not to mention, it is from years ago and before I even knew Michelle. Michelle and I would appreciate respect as we are starting a family together. There's lots of hatred in this world, and we do not need to add to it. Peace and love to all of you.
Great shout out to Ringo Starr.
The fact that it was before she even met Michelle makes it.
Oh, really? That's a very interesting. I mean,
that makes it moot point. Like you can
nothing is happening here.
Okay,
and her response is to the response.
Okay, but can I just say the part that I feel like none of us are talking about? He brought it up. He brought it up as a reason to pick a fight with the guy.
Okay, but look,
we're talking one thing if Masvidal brought it up, or if she brought it up. He's the one that brought it up.
We're talking about it now. The internet is talking about it. As I said at the very top, he got his wish. He got what he wanted. He wanted Masvidal's attention.
But was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, you kind of. I mean,
there is no world where those are inappropriate messages sent back and forth.
I don't think so.
So my point is, like, there's no negative fallout. The only fallout is Masvidal now has he has Masvidal's attention. People are talking about it. People are like, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. He did what he needed to do.
You want to see that fight?
It made it. I'm not mad at it. Well, okay, so Masvidal fights who?
I still maintain it should be Masvidal Conor.
I like it.
That would also be
I ain't mad about Michelle.
I mean, it's a big jump.
Shevchenko, Chukagian 2, or Michelle Masvidal.
By the way, this from Casey, our good friend Casey Leiden, 1-0 as an amateur fighter.
1-0, soon to be 2.
Eric Jackman is crazy today. Val shouldn't fight at 135 for the belt is up there with the Ronda take.
Wow.
Again, everybody just these nonsense like. I don't, man. I'm tempted to go into the Ronda.
Good.
I don't really want to.
Come on, it's been years of abuse.
I'm tempted.
Go ahead.
Tempted to mount.
Just do
defense, but I don't want to open that can of worms. Okay.
Oh.
What I'll say about that. Again, I'm no problem to answer Casey directly. I have no problem with Val going up and fighting for the belt. Fine, great. Like that's a fine fight. But I don't think Valentina is a 135er. I don't think that helps the 135-pound division any. And she's doing fine at 125 to keep that division going. Like, this is not one of those scenarios. Like, I'll give you an example. Alex Volkanovski is eventually going to leave 145. That's a given. He will eventually leave 145. If he moves up and gives a competitive effort and wants to fight at 155, I'm into it. The other part of the equation is Valentina fought at 135. This is not some new scenario. She fought Amanda Nunes at 135 twice and lost.
Yeah, but she's champion at 25 going up, trying to get a second title.
It's all theatrics. It's fine. It's one fight. I'm fine with it. It doesn't help the division. And your point about it could help 125 to just have her out of there and get some contenders. I'll grant you that one. I'll take that. But does she stay at 135 even? That's the question. Does that last long enough?
Right. She said that's too far down the line. All right, fair enough.
So that's the point. Like,
I don't want you to feel attacked here.
It's a yeah.
I think
you've definitely fostered an environment where I'm.
That is so not true. I would never do that. I mean, come on, the Ronda one. This is not up there with the Ronda one.
Oh God, I really want to go into. Okay, I'm not gonna.
I don't even know what you could possibly say.
I'm just saying what I could possibly say here is. I was a little bit earlier on the mental health side of things than you, who's a big proponent now.
Oh.
And I feel like it's been unfairly kind of portrayed.
Wow.
Like, let's on the mental health.
We could talk about Anderson Silva getting your comeback of the year after getting sparked in all his MMA fights.
Wait. Comeback of the year and won.
In boxing, right?
Yeah, 2 fights he won. He reinvented himself.
How'd he do in MMA?
He didn't fight in MMA last year.
Yeah, so I mean, like...
What are you talking about? He won.
Your whole thing. Anyway, wait. I don't want to go down there.
Nah, the comeback fighter of the year is. You could go down that way if you want to say. I think what you're trying to imply is that I'm like a hypocrite or something.
I'm not trying to imply you're a hypocrite. What I'm saying is there were reasons that I gave that award that have been kind of like washed away now. It's been represented as like, wow, she lost her fight. Well, that was what you were saying. I think it's been oversimplified.
In order to warrant the award, you have to show some kind of fortitude, have some kind of success.
Yeah, and I think
she was a corpse.
Again, I don't want to relitigate that. In the fight, yes. I want to... All I'm saying... Oh, God, I'm defending a take I had years ago.
No, it's not...
That's why I didn't want to open this can of worms.
By the way, the mental health thing, she was battling... Like, she had not conquered anything. So how could you be comeback if you haven't overcome?
I think that she probably did not want to take that fight. I think that she came into that fight.
This is a participation trophy. Thank you for showing up. That's what you're saying. You showed up.
I think she overcame some mental hurdles to get into the cage and fight there. Again, she didn't perform well.
Right.
See.
What? No, she overcame, but she didn't show up. So at some point,
it was not
the comeback has to be like, people talk about the greatest comebacks
I disagree.
In NBA history and NFL history. These are awarded to people that overcome, right, and succeed, have some level of success. There was no success other than showing up, literally showing up, not doing a single interview, not talking to anyone.
In the case of that,
looking different, looking shell-shocked before the fight even started.
Here's how I'm going to end this. In hindsight, would I have ever done that again? No, because of the long-lasting.
Forget about the By the way, I'm so happy that you did it because of the long lasting.
I know.
But
I know. I love how you said I'm going to end this. Like it's going to.
in retrospect, the reason why you shouldn't have done it was because she wasn't the rightful winner of said award.
Do you even remember who the one was?
I wish I could remember. Let's see. 2016. That is kind of a funny footnote that no one seems to remember who the actual winner.
Because again, the facts of this have been smudged a little bit. My point is,
I don't really agree with that.
I think she was battling some demons there. And I think there was here's what I'll say. There was an element of bravery shown in taking that fight. That's all I'll say. And going to that fight.
Is that worthy of comeback fighter of the year?
For me, it was that year. And again, my point, and I made the point at the time, I was pointing to that. Obviously, the performance sucked. I get it. Amanda Nunes starched her. I understand. Like that was not the point. But if in hindsight, would I pick that again and try to get that take out there? Probably not. But it was a mental health focused thing. It was not because of the performance. Obviously, like I think that has been lost over the how many years ago is that now?
2016. By the way, check out this guest list for the 2016 MMA Hour Awards. Chuck Mindenhall, Mike Dolce, Cody Garbrandt.
Was he like trainer?
Cody Garbrandt, who had just beaten Dominic.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson.
Oh wow.
And Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Wow.
And by the way, the Khabib one was when he hadn't fought in a while, and I remembered he was in a restaurant when he did this, and everyone was like, "Stop having this guy on!
Yes,
Stop! He's made of glass. Yep. Enough of Khabib."
Now he's everybody's goat.
Now he's everyone's goat. I'm seeing like various things. Tim Elliott, I think, because he was part of that tough season where he came back and got the title shot.
He was the comeback. Is that what?
Remember when they brought back?
Yeah, and that's a good one. That's a good answer.
I mean, yeah, because he won something.
Yeah. See, that doesn't hold water with me. You picked a boxer for your comeback.
Okay, come on, he's not a boxer. Anderson was a boxer.
Come on. Oh, wait a minute. So now you're telling me Anderson has big appeal, huh?
Yeah.
He's a draw. He's somebody that people care about.
Yes. Yeah. In 2000 and freaking 10. By the way, we'll end it on this note, and perhaps we should all be watching Tough. Have you guys been watching Tough?
No. I'm gonna get around to it.
Yeah, right. You're gonna get around to it.
We had this discussion last week.
You gotta pay him. Remember? Just throw some money at him.
This from Jedi. Actually, this kind of blows my mind. In a way, he's right. Tough is doing open scoring.
Wait, what?
The fights are only 2 rounds. After 2 rounds, if it's tied, they go to the 3rd round.
That's not
modified version.
It's kind of open scoring.
It's not.
Modified. I actually feel like Tough deserves a lot of credit for being visionaries.
Oh God! All right, get out of here. We're done. This is.
I think we should all start watching Tough. We're gonna do breakdowns on Wednesday. When is Tough air?
Yes, if we start doing breakdowns, I'm down to watch it.
All right.
If ever there was a point that open scoring has been implemented and has been insignificant, that was it right there. You just proved the point.
Can you bet? Can you bet on Tough?
No, because
it's taped, right? Recorded. That'd be very PFL-esque.
Oh boy,
Frank.
I like that. That was nice.
Rim shot or gunshot? What are we doing?
Something? No. What? Wow.
Oh yeah, dude, Frankie.